In the Velurin Compact Emergency Command Center, the quiet hum of routine monitoring shattered into a burst of red alerts.
Report.
The main screen flickered to a global hologram of Earth. A crimson beacon pulsed over the eastern seaboard of North America.
Priority message from Ambassador Vex Prowl. Audio only, heavily distorted.
The waveform on the secondary display spiked wildly as the translator struggled to parse the panicked shrieks. The text scrolled across the screen. Hostage event. Hostage event. Earth mass casualty attraction.
Hostage event. On Earth? The diplomatic tour. What have they walked into? Scramble the quick reaction fleet. All available vessels to Earth orbit, now.
He keyed a priority override and opened a channel to the Galactic Council's emergency relay.
Council, this is Commander Relin Tak. We have a confirmed hostage situation involving Velurin diplomatic personnel on Earth. Request immediate authorization for armed intervention.
Hours before the galactic alert, Ambassador Vex Prowl stepped off the Velurin shuttle into a sun-drenched parking lot of Six Flags Great Adventure.
Welcome to Six Flags Great Adventure, our third cultural stop.
Vex Prowl's oversized white eyes traced the loops and plunges of metal tracks that dominated the skyline.
They call this place voluntary recreational enjoyment, but those structures resemble military training obstacles.
The four envoys walked stiffly through the midway, past families and spinning rides, their translator implants struggling with the overlapping noise.
Ambassador, I must ask, the velocity of those vehicles, the high-pitched vocalizations, this is recreational?
It's called a roller coaster. The screams are part of the fun. We call it an adrenaline rush.
Piercing shriek from above made Vex Prowl flinch. A train of humans plummeted down a steel track, arms waving.
Adrenaline rush? More like a survival response.
But he was a senior envoy. He adjusted his crooked sash and followed Chen, determined to complete the tour without incident. The path curved past a stand selling fried dough, and the trees parted. King Daka rose before them, a green and purple serpent striking at the clouds.
The energy required to launch a vehicle up that spike must be catastrophic. And humans do this voluntarily?
This is King Daka, 456 feet tall. It accelerates from 0 to 128 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds.
And humans enjoy this?
Ambassador Chen only smiled and led him into the station. Before he could object, an attendant guided him into the orange seat. The harness descended with a hydraulic hiss and clicked into place, pinning his slight frame against the backrest.
First time.
The human child beside him wore a smile of pure anticipation. He had no time to process the question.
The ride operator's voice crackled over the speakers, calm and rehearsed. Launching in 5, 4, 3.
Here we go.
The countdown hit 0. A magnetic kick punched the train forward with force that blurred the world into streaks of color.
This is not transportation. This is an attack.
His translator implant, detecting critical biometric stress, activated an automated distress protocol. A burst of coded transmission ripped into subspace. In the command center, the main screen flickered. The decrypted message scrolled in stark Velurin script and then translated, hostage event, Earth mass casualty, attraction.
That is Ambassador Vex Prowl's transponder. Pinpoint the source immediately.
3 more identical alerts erupted, each from the other envoys in the delegation. The Earth beacon multiplied on the hologram.
Mass casualty attraction. What manner of horror have they stumbled into? All vessels, burn to Earth, orbit immediately. Do not wait for Council confirmation. This is a live hostage extraction.
On the coaster, the train crested the top hat, 456 feet above the Earth, the world a distant, spinning abstraction. Vex Prowl's body was a conduit of pure terror, and the ride had only just begun. The train hung at the summit for a breathless heartbeat. Then gravity seized it and wrenched it down the vertical plunge.
His stomach existed somewhere above his head. The horizon spun. His internal organs would rupture.
Whew, yeah.
Behind them, the other three Valyrian envoys wailed in disharmony, their own distress beacons now screaming into the void.
This is the best part.
Best part? Is he insane?
The track twisted into a corkscrew, compressing the world into a smear of green and brown, G-forces pressing Vex Pral's skull into the restraint.
His vision narrowed to a tunnel. Only the roar of wind and a child's delighted shriek.
The train slammed into the mid-course brakes for one merciful second, then dropped again into the final spiral.
He would not survive this. The child would remember his death as a novelty.
The magnetic brakes caught the train, yanking it from chaos to stillness in a screech of metal. 28 seconds had elapsed. Vex Pral did not move. His antennae lay plastered to his skull, his jaw locked open in a silent scream.
That was sick. Can we go again?
When the attendant unlatched his harness, Vex Pral's legs folded. He crumpled onto the platform, unable to hold his own weight. They half-carried him to a bench. For 9 full minutes, his body refused to function, trembling with aftershock.
Here, you, okay? First time always gets you. They have funnel cake near the exit if you need sugar.
Sugar. He speaks of sugar after my people have surely launched a rescue fleet.
The other envoys stumbled off the train in similar states, clutching their chests, one retching quietly into a trash receptacle.
You subjected us to a device of pure kinetic violence and called it diplomacy.
A small crowd of park-goers gathered, phones raised, thinking it was part of the show. Lucas just shrugged. The delegation retreated to the hotel in a convoy of strained silence. The lobby's ambient music clashed with their ragged breathing.
What? What is that? On the galactic feed, those are compact military vessels.
The hologram displayed 3 rescue cruisers entering Earth's orbit, their hulls bristling with point defense arrays. The crawl read, "Hostage crisis, Earth."
My implant. It must have automatically triggered a distress beacon during the ride. They think we were taken hostage.
He fumbled with his wrist unit to recall the transmission, but the system was locked out, overridden by military protocol. Ambassador Chen burst into the suite, her tablet chiming with urgent messages from the State Department and the Galactic Council.
Vex Pral, we need to talk. Your people have scrambled a fleet. They're calling it a hostage situation. What happened on that ride?
It was automated. My translator detected extreme stress and issued a priority distress call. I did not authorize it, but the galaxy now believes Earth took us prisoner.
Chen's diplomatic instincts kicked in. She was already composing a message to the Secretary General, explaining the voluntary recreational enjoyment before the custodians of the compact charged Earth with cultural assault. The rescue fleet had already entered geostationary orbit. Earth had less than an hour before the galaxy's worst fears became a formal accusation. The Galactic Council chamber filled with the ambient glow of emergency holograms as delegates from 1,000 worlds logged in for the extraordinary session.
This session is convened under Article 7 of the Compact Charter. We address a priority distress call from Ambassador Vex Pral on Earth.
A projection of Earth materialized, the crimson beacon of the distress call still pulsing over the eastern coast.
The Compact formally accuses the United States Department of the Interior of hostage-taking and operating a mass casualty attraction upon diplomatic personnel.
A collective intake of breath swept the tears. The word accusation lingered in the air like a physical weight. On Earth, Ambassador Chen received the formal charge on her tablet. Her composed mask slipped for just a moment.
They've filed an official accusation of kidnapping against the Department of the Interior. This is beyond a misunderstanding.
In the council, Speaker Nalara's voice carried the next step with cold clarity.
Ambassador Vex Pral, as primary witness, you are called to testify before this assembly. Are you ready to give your account?
I am ready, Speaker. Though my body still trembles from the violence, my memory is clear.
Vex Prowl's hologram solidified before the council, his voice trembling through the vast chamber.
They strapped me into a metal seat. A magnetic pulse hurled us forward at impossible speed.
The distress call recording played. Hostage event. Hostage event. Earth co-mass casualty attraction.
The G-forces compressed my organs. The wind tore at my face. Beside me, a human child screamed, not in pain, but in ecstasy.
Biometric logs from the other envoys confirmed lethal stress thresholds. Their statements matched his. Revulsion swept the tiered seats. Delegates covered their eyes. Anxious whispers filled the chamber. One delegate, a furry creature, turned a sickly mottled color and keened low in distress.
I have never experienced such deliberate terror disguised as hospitality.
Speaker, Nalara's tendrils quivered, a sign of deep personal disturbance. The charge no longer felt formal.
They knew what they were doing. They engineered it, and their children laugh.
Ambassador Chen rose from the Earth delegation's seat and walked to the central podium, her heels echoing in the stunned quiet.
Council members, what Ambassador Vex Prawl experienced was not an attack, nor a kidnapping. It was an amusement park ride called a roller coaster.
She gestured, and the hologram shifted to footage of King Daka in operation. A train launching, riders laughing, arms raised in exhilaration. The council tier rustled with confusion. Some delegates leaned forward, trying to reconcile the joyful images with the terror described earlier.
Humans voluntarily board these rides for recreation. We call it an adrenaline rush. The screams you heard were not of pain, but of excitement.
A delegate spoke, voice filtering through a translator. You subject your own young to this, willingly.
Yes, it is a common coming-of-age activity. Children often beg to ride them repeatedly.
The chamber filled with dissonant murmurs. Many species lacked the concept of recreational fear. The idea of engineering danger for entertainment seemed pathological.
Ambassador Chen, this explanation is unprecedented. The Council requires a formal cultural analysis before this accusation can be resolved. Cultural analysis? They want to dissect our toddlers' birthday parties.
The Council recessed with a single directive. Vex Prawl must produce a cultural analysis of the incident within one Earth rotation.
He sat at the desk, fingers poised over the holographic interface. Trauma was the only word that captured it.
The title formed in his mind first, on the voluntary submission of human children to engineered trauma.
Human juveniles are conditioned to seek perilous acceleration and free fall as entertainment.
He documented the ride's specifications, the child's laughter, his own biometric overload, all evidence of engineered trauma.
They industrialize fear. They package it with bright colors and call it a park.
The report concluded that Earth theme parks systematically desensitize humans to life-threatening danger. He submitted the analysis to the Council, his name permanently affixed to a document that would redefine human-Veluran relations.
They will call me a coward, but the truth is plain. Human children volunteer for this.
The cultural analysis entered the Council's central archive, flagged for priority review. The galaxy would soon judge Earth by its toddlers' screams. By sunrise, a local news crew had invited Lucas to their studio, where he perched on a stool with a microphone clipped to his striped shirt.
The green guy next to me? He didn't say much, just stared ahead the whole time. Kinda quiet, you know? He looked super scared, like more scared than my little cousin on the teacups. I told him it's fun. He didn't believe me.
The interviewer prompted him about plans, and the boy's face lit up with the fervor of a true enthusiast.
I'm already saving up for Cedar Point. It's got the best coasters. I only need 20 more bucks, and I am there.
The segment aired with the headline Alien Envoy Files Kidnapping Report after coaster ride. Its irony lost on the news directors. Within hours, the clip had crossed interstellar relays and appeared on the central hologram of the Galactic Council. Delegates leaned forward, their universal translators squawking over one another, the concept of fun failing to parse. In his temporary quarters, Vex Prawl stared at the same broadcast. The child's piggy bank was now evidence in a galactic report.
He is already saving wages for the next engineered trauma. This is not innocence, it is deep conditioning.
The council reconvened in a charged atmosphere, the holographic image of Lucas's grinning face still suspended above the central well. A delegate rose, voice sharp. Their young actively seek these death machines. The Velurin report is irrefutable. They must be quarantined. Another countered. Yet they have survived. This voluntary trauma may be a resilience mechanism, a cultural asset, not a threat.
Order. We are not here to debate human evolution. We are here to determine whether their recreational practices constitute deliberate endangerment of sentient life.
The chamber erupted into simultaneous translation squalls as each delegate tried to reconcile the smiling child with the terror on Vex Prowl's face. A motion was put forward to classify all Earth theme parks as cultural hazard zones pending a full investigation.
Council members, I urge you to consider the evidence of voluntary participation. These are not weapons, they are laughter machines.
Speaker Nalara raised a slender hand, and the chamber fell into a profound, unnerving silence.
We will now proceed to a vote. The question before this council: are Earth-based amusement parks a cultural hazard requiring interstellar quarantine?
The voting interface shimmered to life on every delegate's console. Earth's fate now rested on the wisdom of 1,000 alien minds.
Ambassador Chen, before the vote begins, you may address the council one final time. Council members, I do not deny the fear Ambassador Vex Prawl endured, but that fear was a choice, sought voluntarily by millions of humans. The child's laughter you heard was triumph over fear. We teach our children to master danger, not flee it.
The Velurin delegation, through their speaker, objected sharply. Voluntary trauma remains trauma, and the child's piggy bank proves deep conditioning. The chamber swayed. Delegates were torn between the rational appeal and the visceral memory of Vex Prowl's trembling testimony.
Lucas saves for his next ride, not out of conditioning, but joy. Please don't mistake our fun for malice. Your words are noted, Ambassador. The council will now cast its vote.
The voting interface pulsed. Each delegate's decision hovered, a single touch away from becoming galactic law.
And yet the child's piggy bank glinted in his memory, a jar full of hope for the next engineered trauma.
The first votes appeared on the giant display. The galaxy held its breath. The votes cascaded onto the holographic board. The bars for cultural hazard zone climbed past 80%.
The motion carries by overwhelming majority. Earth-based amusement parks are henceforth classified cultural hazard zones.
In the Velurin Command Center, Commander Relin Talk received the directive. All vessels, stand down. The hostage rescue was canceled. A galaxy-wide travel advisory flickered into life. Earth theme parks, cultural hazard. Enter at your own risk.
The kidnapping accusation against the United States Department of the Interior is formally withdrawn. However, a formal apology is demanded.
On Earth, the tablet of the president lit up. The classification notice was official. The apology a bitter pill.
She leaned back in her chair. Kidnapping charge dropped. Cultural hazard label applied. Was that a win?
The Velurin fleet executed a synchronized turn, their glowing trails receding from Earth. The guns never fired. Kingda Ka launched again, the riders' screams lost in the wind. Unchanged by the decision made light years away, by afternoon, a new plaque at Six Flags read, Cultural Hazard Zone, families lined up for funnel cake, oblivious. The State Department spokesperson read a baffled apology. Earth regretted the distress caused, but theme parks would remain open as cultural institutions. In his living room, Lucas pointed at the screen. His mother's coffee cup paused midair.
That's the green dude. He was super quiet, but I think he liked it.
His mother covered her face with a palm, caught between laughter and a parental sigh. Vex Prowl stood before a holographic screen, Commander Relentalk's stern visage flickering from the Velerin command center.
Commander, I may have overreacted, but my report is accurate. Human children enthusiastically volunteer for trauma.
Your overreaction has secured a cultural hazard designation and inadvertently a tourism brochure. Travel waivers are being drafted.
Vex Prowl's antennae twitched. He had not considered that his report would become an attraction for thrill-seeking aliens. At Six Flags, the new plaque drew curious stares, but the line for funnel cake remained 20 deep, unchanged. Lucas, back in his room, dropped another coin into the Cedar Point jar. Only a few more to go. By the following month, travel agencies on a dozen worlds advertised Earth hazard tours with images of screaming aliens on coasters. Curious thrill seekers from the Velerin Compact and beyond booked passage to Earth, their waivers signed. At a small carnival, a reptilian alien clutched the safety bar. Eyes wide as a human child in the next seat yawned. A commercial flickered onto the galactic feed. Lucas, still missing his front tooth, faced the camera with a grin.
Cedar Point has the best coasters. Come ride the Millennium Force, if you dare.
The ad went viral across 17 star systems. Bookings for human theme parks surged by 400%. Earth's tourism board, initially horrified, rebranded the classification as an authentic human experience and leaned in. Vex Prowl's report was cited in travel brochures as a testimonial. Truly terrifying. Lucas, now a minor celebrity, dumped his jar onto his bed, counted the coins, and grinned. Cedar Point was next. On the Velerin homeworld, Ambassador Vex Prowl reclined in a therapeutic chamber, his antennae connected to a calming neural interface. A counselor's voice, soft and synthesized, asked him to reflect on the human child who sat beside him on the ride.
I understand now. The child, Lucas, was not conditioned. He chose the fear. He mastered it.
He recounted the launch, the screams of joy, the piggy bank. His voice held no anger, only a weary admiration.
They face terror, not because they must, but to prove they can. There is strength in that.
The counselor inquired about Earth's other recreational horrors, mentioning a place called a haunted house.
I respectfully decline further exposure to human entertainment. My report will suffice, never again, but I will carry that child's laughter as a reminder of what resilience looks like.
The session ended with his biometrics scable for the first time since the incident. His report would be revised with a new conclusion.
Terrifying, yet admirable. Humans have earned my respect, even if their parks are death traps.
The following week, Lucas stood before his 4th grade class for show and tell, clutching a printout and a glossy photograph.
This is the hostage event report. It's what the aliens sent to outer space when we were on the coaster.
He pinned the photo to the board, a selfie with a terrified Vex Prowl, the coaster track blurring behind them.
That's the green dude. He was super scared, but he wrote all this about how brave human kids are.
A murmur rippled through the room. Hands shot up, but Lucas wasn't finished.
And I am almost to Cedar Point. Only $20 left. Who wants to see the Millennium Force?
The teacher's expression shifted to a mix of confusion and mild alarm. She'd read about the galactic incident.
My mom says I can go next month. Maybe I'll get another alien report for show and tell.
The teacher cleared her throat. Thank you, Lucas. That's very informative. Next, please. Lucas sat down, the transcript now a prized possession on his desk, his mind already on the next coaster. In the Velerin Command Center, Commander Relentalk stared at the final incident report, its amber hazard flag blinking patiently.
An amusement ride. The entire galaxy mobilized for a ride. Children begged to repeat.
He tapped the screen, pulling up a blank policy template. The title wrote itself, Cultural Hazard Waiver for Earth Visits.
Effective immediately. All diplomatic missions to Earth must include a signed acknowledgement of voluntary exposure to recreational terror.
He attached Vex Pral's testimony as an appendix, then forwarded the memo to every compact outpost.
Let future envoys know Earth's welcome includes a waiver for giggles.
The policy spread rapidly. Across the fleet, officers added Earth cultural hazard training to their pre-deployment checklists. Someone in logistics even drafted a supply request for motion sickness medication.
Humans. They will be the death of military discipline, or at least our stomachs.
He closed the report, its flag now a permanent addition to the Compact's diplomatic protocols. The incident was over, but the lesson would outlive them all. That evening, Lucas poured the last handful of coins into his Cedar Point jar. Quarters, dimes, a crumpled $5 bill.
And done. Cedar Point, here I come.
He then pulled a printed photo from his backpack. The selfie with Vex Pral, the alien's face a mask of terror, and carefully taped it to the jar.
There. Now he's coming with me.
His mother appeared in the doorway, leaning against the frame, watching him with a soft, weary smile.
Mom, I hope the green guy comes to Cedar Point too. He'd love the top thrill.
His mother exhaled, a slow, long-suffering sound that only a parent of a coaster-obsessed child could make. She walked over, kissed the top of his head, and murmured something that sounded like cultural hazard under her breath. Lucas tucked the jar beside his bed, the photo of the terrified ambassador now a permanent part of his savings ritual. Tomorrow, he would buy the ticket. The galaxy could classify whatever it wanted. Lucas had coasters to ride at Cedar Point. A fresh batch of park maps slid off the printer, each bearing a glossy new sticker. The sticker read, Cultural Hazard Zone, Galactic Council Classified, with a tiny alien skull icon. A teenage clerk in a Cedar Point polo shirt slapped it onto a brochure with practiced indifference. A line of aliens stretched from the ticket window, their translators buzzing as they compared ride statistics. A family of insectoid beings pointed at the Millennium Force, their mandibles clicking with what looked like excitement. The clerk handed a brochure to a tentacled alien. Here you go. The hazard waiver is on the back. The alien's translator chirped. Waiver? For what? The clerk shrugged, already scanning the next guest. The line moved forward. A roller coaster roared overhead, human screams blending with alien trills, the sound of a new normal. And somewhere, on a boy's nightstand, a jar with a terrified green face taped to it waited for the next ride. The galaxy had classified. The Compact had trained, but the human child had already moved on to taller, faster rides.